Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. My girlfriend found some letters that proved I was cheating. She'll never play Scrabble with me again. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards, Annilhilageddon 2, Xtreme Nacho Legends from Cryptozoic.
Hello everybody, we'll get back to the review in just a second. I just want to take a moment to ask you to go ahead and check out and subscribe to my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check that out, please subscribe, and now, back to the review.
In Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards, Annilhilageddon 2, Xtreme Nacho Legends from Cryptozoic, henceforward referred to simply as Annilhilageddon, players take on the roles of various wizards as they're battling in this kooky, crazy deck-building game that is not safe for kids. So please, if you're a kid, turn this off now. It's not a good thing for kids. Now, this game is essentially a riff on the Cerberus Engine deck-building games that Cryptozoic uses. So if you played the DC Comics deck-building game, this game's going to be very familiar to you. You have the different characters, different classes, rather. You have different, you all have the use of the power. You have kind of a basic lineup, but there's a few other little things in here, so let me tell you what's going on. Now, essentially, you have a main deck, just like in DC, but you also have kind of a legendary deck, and you put out 3 cards for that deck. And that's going to be things that kind of give you kind of very special abilities, and they're also more expensive. Now, each player is going to start with their own kind of wizard tracking board, and that's because you're going to be kind of knocking each other down during this game, so you've got a board to kind of track your health points during the course of the game. So like in a lot of the other DC games, of course, you know, you're doing the basic things here. You're buying cards from the lineup, you're playing cards, you're getting power. But here you also do have attacks, and you are attacking your enemies. And you're trying to knock them down a number of hit points on their tracker board. So some card effects and other things will give you nachos. You can gain the Nacho Tokens. The Nacho Tokens, you can spend them as kind of additional power to buy cards during the course of the game. Now, essentially, you're trying to knock down your opponents. You're trying to knock them down to 0, knock them out. Now, when they get knocked out, they're not out of the game. They can essentially come back, but they do get a dead token, which is going to have some negative effects for them. There's other ways to gain the dead tokens, too. But they can have, sometimes they can do good things, but sometimes they do bad things. So if you knock out one of your opponents during the game, you get the trophy. If you get the trophy at the end of every one of your turns, you get a nacho chip for free. So you're going back and forth, you're playing your cards to get power, to gain more powerful cards. You are, of course, trying to attack your opponent, who can sometimes defend against those with other cards. You're trying to knock down your opponent so that they get more Death Wizard heads. Those Death Wizard skulls, they actually, like I say, they have negative and positive abilities. But you're going back and forth until you actually run out of the Death Wizard heads. If ever the Death Wizard stack is empty or you've run out of cards in the main deck, the game is over. Then you go ahead, you look at all the victory points you have on all your cards, you add them all up, you deduct any negative victory points, and whoever has the most victory points wins. Annilhilageddon. So first of all, let me say this. When the good people at Cryptozoic reached out to me, I didn't appreciate that this was a game of such an adult nature. And what I mean is, you know, I'm not showing a lot of the more graphic cards here, because there are quite a few. And, you know, I'm not a prude or anything, and I had fun with the game. But it's not really my cup of tea. I'm not somebody that really gravitates toward the kind of more mature and disgusting elements in card games. It's just not my cup of tea, really. You know, I said I'd review it, and I'm going to review it. But I should have done my homework here. The game itself is fun. You know, I had fun with the game. It's because basically it's a riff on the DC Comics deck building game, which is one of my favorites. I love that game, and so yeah, I liked it. I got a big kick out of it. But honestly, the theme kind of turned me off a little bit. Again, I mean, if I was at somebody's house and they broke it out and they'd say, "You want to play it?" I'd say, "Yeah, sure, okay, let's play it." But it's not something I think I will be keeping in my collection because of the subject matter, and frankly, you know, I feel like I've kind of already got the game with the DC Comics game. Now, you do have some fun riffs here. Like I said, the nachos where you got the tokens, which can just contribute to your power. I think that's pretty good. And then, of course, The Death Wizard stuff is always fun because you don't know what they are. You flip them over, you don't know if they're going to be positives or negatives. And that's pretty fun too. So, I mean, I did like it. I did enjoy it. But all being told, this is going to have to be a try before you buy it. I think it's a fun game, but, you know, it really comes down to the theme. Is the theme going to suit you? Are you going to have fun with the theme? So try it before you buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check it out, please subscribe, and please leave a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. That helps us out a lot as well. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, I was a lousy farmer, but I was a great DJ. I had some sick beats.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I've been dying.
You better get back, Zackman, or this cowardly commentator will pay the ultimate price! $5!